What's up, environmental science scholars? In today's class, we're going to learn how to use layer masks and the magic wand tool to create cool infographics. So what's the significance of this? Well, if we have a large data set, it can be difficult to make meaning of it. Here, for example, are addresses featuring lab students. Doesn't really tell me though where everybody lives. This infographic, however, does. So this makes meaning from this pretty heavy data set. Now, in yesterday's class, we took a look at greenhouse gases from meat production. And this is a pretty cool infographic. However, we're going to reimagine it using Google Drive and Photoshop. We'll talk a little bit more about infographics for a moment, though. Here, for example, we've got a sequence of years and rising average global temperatures. We can pop it into Google Drive, create this visual, but it becomes a stunning display when we use Photoshop to give it greater meaning. So here once again is this data set from this infographic featuring greenhouse gases from meat production. What we're going to do is we're going to pop this into a donut hole graphic, and I know that if we can do that, we can then import it into Photoshop. We can add visuals like this, or if you'd like, you can create a display featuring a pie chart and express it in any way you want. So let's jump right on into Google Drive. So here we've got Google Sheets, and you're going to find something that looks a little bit like this, and we need to generate this chart. To do that, what you're going to do right now is click on Insert, and you're going to scroll down a little bit. You're going to find Chart, and then it says for data range, it says select data range. I'm simply going to select not F12. Instead, I'm going to select the B column, and I'm going to press OK. And now all of a sudden it generates this column chart. I'm going to change it from column, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to find right here the donut chart.
Mmm, donuts.
Great. If you were so inclined and you wanted to use a different chart, you could simply click on here and find one that suited you. However, once we've got this chart, what we're going to do is we're going to export it. So you're going to click on the three vertical dots, and we're going to download as, and you're going to download it as a PDF. Great, so it's downloading as a PDF. Amazing. We're going to return to Photoshop, and then what you can simply do is click on File and then Open. You're going to find that PDF in the Downloads folder. Then you're going to have something that looks a little bit like this. So this may be ambitious for many of us. Let's start with the basics. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to figure out what visuals I want to include right smack dab in this donut chart. We're going to need dairy cattle, pigs, buffalo, and chickens. You can find visuals that suit you, or if you're doing a data set of your choice, obviously find images that are relevant for you. So we'll start here. I like this visual. So once you find an image you like, you're going to left click once so it opens up to this size. We're going to right click. We're going to copy the image. Right click, copy image, return to Photoshop. We're going to press Command V to paste it. Remember that Command T changes the size of a layer. We're going to hold Shift to increase the size so it looks a little something like that. And we'll be able to modify it in a second. But what I'm doing it right now is I'm situating it right over this red section of the dairy cattle portion of this donut chart. So it looks a little bit like that. Amazing. I'm going to press check to confirm. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look in the layers palette. So this is the layers palette. I can see that right now we've got two layers. We've got this the donut chart in the background. We've got this dairy cattle. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select the magic wand tool. It's right underneath these lasso tools. And you might find the quick selection tool is selected first. In fact, actually, we might be able to use that. What we're going to do is we're going to select layer 1 or the donut chart. I'm going to click. And yeah, I'll just select once and drag a little bit. And you can see the selection right here. It's the outline of that area of the chart. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch back to layer 2, the dairy cows. And I'm going to click, crucially, this little image right here, this little icon. It says add a layer mask. That's exactly what we want to do. I'm going to add a layer mask, and now all of a sudden everything outside the red disappears and only the dairy cattle in the interior remains. If we wanted to shift the dairy cows around, and I do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little paperclip once, and now I'm going to click right back on the dairy cattle thumbnail in the layers palette, and then I'm going to switch to the move tool, and I'm going to move this around like so. And yeah, I like that. I like that right there. Let's do this a few more times. I'm going to return to Google Chrome. I'm going to find some pigs. And why not this one right here? We're going to right click. We're going to copy the image. We're going to return to Photoshop, Command V to paste. And this one's a little bit big, so I'm going to press Command T, hold Shift, and I'm going to drop it down and let's see. I'm going to press check to confirm. We've got this tool right here, so you could use either the magic wand tool or the quick selection. Now we'll switch to the magic wand tool. Either or work in this context. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to layer 1 because the way the magic wand tool works is it selects an area based on color. So if I click once here, just the blue is selected. If I click right here, just the teal, just the orange, and so on and so forth. So now I'm going to click just this area of the chart. Great. And now what I'm going to do is switch back to layer 3, the pigs layer. And now we're going to now we're going to press the layer mask. Boom. I like that. That looks great. Let's grab this, let's grab a buffalo. Alright, so we're going to find one that we like. This one looks pretty nifty. I'm going to right click. We're going to copy. We're going to return to Photoshop. Command V. And now this one is super small. Command T to change the size. And we'll situate it like so. We're going to return to layer 1. We're going to use the magic wand tool, this selection tool. I'm going to select right here. This looks great. Return to the buffalo layer. I'm going to press the layer mask icon. Boom. And now what we're going to do is we can click off this little paperclip. I'm going to click the paperclip again, switch to the buffalo icon, move tool, and now we can sort of shift this around. Alright, so this can be a little tedious, but I think this is pretty fun. We'll grab one more and then I'm going to teach you guys how to use layer styles. We're going to grab a chicken. I'll grab this one right here. Right click, copy image, return to Photoshop, Command V. We're going to pop it in. Great. Now we switch to the donut chart layer, layer 1. Magic wand, switch to click on this area of the chicken's portion of the chart. Switch back to layer 5 because this is where we're making the layer mask. I'm going to click this little icon right here, add a layer mask, boom. And then I'm going to click off that little paperclip. And then if I wanted to change the size or move it around, make sure that you're on the chicken layer because right now I was actually on the layer mask and I tried to move it. That's kind of cool, but that's not what we're looking for. I'm going to click on the chicken. I'm going to shift it over like so. Amazing. Now, how can we better differentiate or distinguish one element of meat production from another? We can do that with layer masks. So I'm going to click on the buffalo. And right next to the layer masks, it says effects. What we're going to do is we're going to add a stroke. I'm going to click once, and then it's going to ask for a color. You can choose any color you want. I'll select whatever. I'll select this green. Amazing. And I positioned it right now outside. We could also do inside. I like outside better. So we're going to change that to outside. I'm going to press OK. And now I notice in the layers palette, underneath the buffalo, it says effects, stroke. If you guys hold Option or Alt, and you can then simply click and drag to other layers. And now all of a sudden we've replicated that layer style. This looks like an amazing start. You can have lots of fun adding lots of cool visuals to your infographic. I cannot wait to see how you express this data. Let me know if you have any questions. Write your name in 2019, and do not forget critically to label this. So this is, let's do this. I'm going to change the color. So this is greenhouse gas emissions from meat production. I'm going to change this. You can put it anywhere you want. You can put it simply in the center or in the lower right hand corner as I am right now. I cannot wait to see your work. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.